and welcome to my channel. Today's video we are going to be touring the World War I German Army. Also stay tuned for later in the video about a particular announcement for this week's other upcoming video and project. In this video of the World War I German tour, we're not only going to be seeing the soldiers, we are also going to be doing a brief breakdown of the army itself, the positions, the weapons, and the soldiers, but also the politics and a little brief history of Germany at the time of World War I. So, without further ado, let's move on to the tour. Here we have the World War I German Army, and it consists of 92 soldiers. The weapons vary between using bolt-action Mauser rifles and also pistols known as Mausers, but there's also a variant of heavy machine guns and grenades, but we'll break down this more in the breakdown of the positions. So here we have the German soldiers and their poses being shown and their different variants, but the difference between the gray and the black is the gray soldiers represent the Germans and later on in the war where they have the Steinhelm. And the black ones represent the Germans before the war, or the early stages of the war, which their helmets were called the Pickelhaube. The Pickelhaube had been around since the 1860s and 70s, when at the time Germany was reunifying itself and would later become a kingdom. And during this time period, Germany was a kingdom, not a fascist Reich in World War II. So let's move on to the next. Now, to verify the weapons that the German soldiers that I have are using during the time period, and I want to be factually correct, is for the rifles, they were known as the Mauser Gewehr 98, and they were bolt action single shot 79.2 millimeter, 7.92 millimeter cartridges with a 5-round magazine. And there was also pistols, which there were two different versions. There's which are both, well, they're the same, but they also are created in two different variants. For instance, the Pickelhaube has the older version of the Luger P08, while the grayer version has the modernized version of the P08, and it's different. And as for the one gray soldier with the machine gun, it was known as the MG08, based on the Maxim machine gun design that they took notes on from the Russians' machine gun and would develop it into their own design and effect, which is a very interesting concept. Now, another thing about World War I Germany is, yes, they were the first ones to use chemical warfare in the war, which caused devastation to not only just armies or just soldiers of the different armies, but they also caused devastation on certain plantation and stuff like that. And chemical war, and there's some zones in Europe from the First World War that are still hazardous to this day because of the chemical warfare that was being introduced. Excuse me, guys. Another thing is, World War I Germany, like I said before, is different than World War II Germany. World War I Germany was when Germany was a monarchy under Kaiser Wilhelm II, and they originally were only involved in the First World War because their ally Austria-Hungary had lost their heir, which would be Archduke Alexander I, to assassination by a Serbian nationalist, and because of that assassination, it provoked a war between Serbia and Austria-Hungary, but not only just Serbia and Austria-Hungary, not only these two nations would be at war, but it would lead to war with other nations and their allies. And Germany was, the Kingdom of Germany was allies with Austria-Hungary. Basically, to put it in a simpler fact, that'd be like you having a younger sibling or a childhood friend at school, and there's this big, mean person, and they're not like the type that would like insult you or anything like that, but they would physically beat the crap out of your little friend or sibling. You, as the big protector and defender of said sibling, would be not only angry about what the guy is doing to your friend or your sibling, but you'll be the first one to join in on his side, on your friend's or sibling side, to beat the other person up. So that's the analogy that I'm going with. But that's what kind of really happened, but except instead of like using diplomacy to solve the issue, it would result into a great war for all nations and all monarchies to get involved. And after the war ended, Germany went from a monarchy to a republic, and from there on it would lead to something worse. But just to clarify, for those of you who are not knowledgeable, World War One Germany is different than World War Two Germany, and if you don't understand what I'm talking about, there are other YouTubers on YouTube that do talk about more into that. I'm just doing a basic, simple version of it in a short context. But if you want to find out more, I'll probably link a couple of channels in the description for you to check out. So that's basically it on that part. Now we're moving on to the actual announcements and closing of this video. Alright, so announcements are, one, I have this package that I received a couple of days ago, and I will be doing the recording slash scripting of this video later tonight, but it won't be published until early tomorrow morning. As for the World War One German historic tour, I hope that you've learned a little bit. I tried my best to make it as short but easy as possible. I know that I may have stuttered or have stumbled here and there, making it a little complicated for you guys to understand. But just know I was trying to get this done and over with so that I can focus on other things. And as for my last video, I'm still kind of dealing with it. I'm fine now, but still kind of deal with it. But I'm trying to do my best to entertain you guys as quickly and as much timing as possible. And I have just recently uploaded a poll too, so I'm not only going to be releasing a couple YouTube channels on the description to understand a little more about World War One Germany, but I'm also going to be posting a link to the poll that I have recently published for you guys to make your votes and cast them on for the next topic of this video. And as for this upcoming video that I'm doing, that's going to be representing what's in this box, I am, of course, like I said before, I'm going to record this after this video is uploaded, so you're going to see the same shirt that I'm wearing as of tonight being seen the next day. But I promise you guys, in the ending of the video, I'll be wearing a different shirt. So without further ado, thank you guys for liking, watching, and subscribing to my channel. Please share this with your friends or family members so we can try to reach up to 700 subscribers by the end of this year. And without further ado, thank you guys so much for your support. I'm trying my best here as much as I can to give you guys some extra content. But like I said, I'm dealing with a lot at the moment, but I'm trying to make it through every day. And without further ado, peace.